Welcome back to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and today we are talking all about veterans. I hope you're enjoying your Veterans Day weekend. And this segment, I'm talking with Kay Smith. But before we do, I'm going to give you the call-in number in case you've got a real estate question. You know, every Veterans Day and Memorial Day, we try to dedicate the show to great organizations that work for veterans, that really benefit the veteran community. And so we want to spotlight them, talk about what they're doing, how they're helping the community. But we'll be back to real estate next week. So if you've got a real estate question, that number is 281-882-8088. We'll be happy to answer your real estate questions next weekend. This segment, I've got Kay Smith on. She's the president of Hero and Friend, the Hero and Friend organization. She's going to tell us about it because it's a relatively new program, and they've been doing a lot of good work for over a year now. And it brings together heroes, our veterans, and also people with disabilities who are over the age of 21 who have exited the school program because they have to exit at 21 and figure out if they're going to get a job or what they're going to do. And so she has paired these two communities together to do some really great work. So welcome to the show, Kay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking about this. This is a really neat organization that you've started, and I know you've been very busy with it. I know it's a lot of work, and you're finding that you're really having some great success with it as well.
We are. We're having some really good success. And again, it's something that's been very needed for a long time because there's just not a lot of options out there.
So tell us how the program works, Hero and Friend. What do you guys do?
When someone with a disability ages out of the public school system, there's a void there. What do they do? How do they go to work? How do they have a better quality of life? And then you also have your veteran who comes back, and sometimes they don't always know how their skills and their talents that they learned in the military translate into public life. So we've married those two together. If you have an employer he's reticent about hiring someone with a disability because their company is not equipped for training and ongoing overseeing of their work. And then you have a veteran who gets certified in job skills training, and those two can be paired successfully so that takes the fear away from the employer on hiring that person with a disability.
I love that because you're right. A lot of people have jobs in their organization that are perfect for people with disabilities. They're very routine jobs, doing the same thing over and over that someone can learn a skill and do, but they don't have the time and the resources to train them to do it.
Exactly.
And so this is a great program to bring in someone to actually train them to be able to do this long term. And the great thing about a lot of your individuals with disabilities, when they find a job and they do it well, they'll stay in that job for 20 years. I mean, they'll do it a long time. So as an employer, if you can hire someone like that who can do a job and do it well for you, I mean, it can be a very long-term relationship that works really well for the employer.
Absolutely.
It's just that component of training them that's difficult, and so you take care of that.
Exactly. And they're happy employees.
Yes.
They're very happy employees. They're happy to show up. They're happy to be there. They're happy to do the work. And it gives them a better sense of self and accomplishment.
Right.
And it also gives the veteran that sense of self and accomplishment also.
So the veterans have to, they come to your organization and you vet them to make sure that this is going to be a good fit for them.
Absolutely.
And if it's not, you help them find another organization. Maybe they're better at something else. But if this is a good fit for them, then you help them get the training they need. Now, what kind of training is involved to get them certified to do this work?
There's an online program that they would take. It's a 30-day program where they would spend an hour a day. And it's very intense, so they're not going to spend more than an hour a day for that month. And at the end of it, they're taking a test as they go through this process. And at the end of it, if they pass, then they get the certification.
Okay.
Once they have the certification, then they are interviewed by families who are looking for someone to work with their family member.
Okay.
And it's a marriage, it's a partnership.
Yeah.
And so the family does make the decision. And once they have been been partnered with someone, then they're a companion. They're a work companion. They're a life companion.
So for the employer, they get this employee, and the employee gets the training they need to do the job. And then they kind of also get this veteran who's going to be able to be around as well. And
they have the veteran there who is overseeing everything that's being done.
Yeah.
And so that takes the fear or the concern out of the employer's purview, and then it gives the veteran an opportunity to really make a very good living.
So the veteran is paid by the government once they're certified and they take on the responsibility of a disabled person. They are getting paid by the government.
Yes.
It just seems like a great organization. I love it. I love it. You know, you've got this, the person who's disabled is now going to be able to go out and get a job and make money. And you've got this veteran who's now making money helping them. It just seems like a win-win for everybody.
Well, I have to tell you, there's a wonderful woman by the name of Ruth Mason that I have to give a lot of credit to, because she is so knowledgeable about individuals with disabilities, and she's the one that helped open my eyes, and she's the one that helped get me connected in with this community so that I can learn more about it and how we can best help and give back and serve this community.
And I'm assuming you have all levels of employment, because, you know, I mean, it's very stereotypical to think of someone who, you know, goes to work at McDonald's, you know, and does a very routine job. But there are some very high-functioning disabled people. You know, if they're physically disabled, they may, you know, have a really great career somewhere and just need physical help. You do that as well as mentally training as well, right? Would you help them as well, or would this person be able to help them as well learn how to function physically in an environment with mobility issues and that kind of thing as well?
Well, I think that if there's physical, they would have. They'd get their physical training through specialists that do that, but the veteran would be someone who would be there to take them to and from the job.
Okay.
And assist them on the job. And you're right, there's a lot of different things that they could do, like, for example, in a hospital. There's repetitive work that the nurses and nurses' aides hate to do, like cleaning and sterilizing the equipment and poles and things like that. And those are repetitive jobs that can be done very easily, and they enjoy it. Sometimes someone wants to be around a lot of people, and then there are those people that would rather just sit and work by themselves quietly. So those are all things that we look at in helping them go forward finding work.
Okay, so you help them figure out what type of work they would be good at, and then try to pair them up with employers and help them with the interview process and getting that job.
Yes. And the other thing for the employer, there's a benefit. There is a tax credit benefit to hiring veterans and to hiring individuals with disabilities.
Okay.
So this is one of those things that's a win-win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And you always like to look at things where there's a win-win-win.
Yeah. So for an employer who's hearing this and going, well, I've got some, jobs that are repetitive that I could bring somebody like this in. Where could they find out information about the tax credits and about, is there a resource for that?
Yes, the government has information about the tax credits that businesses receive for hiring veterans and for hiring individuals with disabilities.
Okay. And then if they want to learn more about this program, what's the website for that?
HeroandFriend.org, and that's without any S's. Everybody wants to put Hero and Friends, but it's Hero and Friend.
Because it's a one-on-one pairing up.
It's a one-on-one pairing up. And the interesting thing is, who's the hero and who's the friend?
Could go either way.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, I like what you're doing. It seems really neat. And I know that you have very deep community roots here. I know you're close to, where are you located? In the Spring area? You're North Houston.
Right. It is. It's off of Grant Road. We're on Grant Road, just between Jones Road and Highway 249.
Okay. And is that where the veterans and the and the disabled individuals that they're going to be working with, is that where they meet and train and get ready, or do they go to different locations?
Different locations,
Okay.
not the individual with a disability. Now, the veterans come in there, we interview them, we identify what they're looking for.
Okay.
Because not everybody is looking for this type of work.
Right.
They might want to work as a welder or welder apprentice or long haul driver, or they might want to work on computers. So we try to help identify what their strengths are.
Okay. And you're also building a resource guide. Tell us about that real quick. We got about a minute left.
Okay, the resource guide is for veterans to know exactly what all the resources are available to them, because there's not one single comprehensive resource guide.
Okay.
For everybody. And so we're doing that based on state, local, and federal, and it's going to be tabbed based on services, whether it's financial services, medical services, counseling services, family services. It will all be tabbed in this resource guide for
And that's
them.
going to be at the heroandfriend.org as well?
Yes.
And it's HEROAND friend.org.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Kay Smith. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
All right. We'll be right back here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
People often find themselves in need of storage and moving, but don't want the hassle and stress. Sound familiar? Well, at Zippy Shell, we make storage and moving easy. Zippy Shell will deliver a storage container to your home or business. You load it at your leisure, and we'll take it to one of our safe, convenient storage facilities, or ship it to your final destination. We treat your stuff like it's our stuff, because we understand you're not just giving us your belongings, you're giving us your trust. Zippy Shell, storage and moving that makes life simple.